Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So, welcome to the Liminal Boundaries Channel, where we're live screenwriting The Ballad of Garvin Hackett, a movie script being written completely from scratch. It's an ironic, darkly comic take on 90s action movies. Think Forrest Gump meets Scarface, but directed by Sidney Lumet, so the laws of physics actually apply. Instead of going the traditional route of development, I'm writing this movie live and in public, directly for you to visualize later as a cinematic graphic novel. So if you've got a good idea you think might improve the script, drop it in the chat and it might just make it in. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you want to follow along from the beginning, you can check out the Liminal Boundaries channel and the link in the description. So I always like to start with a welcome into the empty chat. It's become kind of a tradition. All right, welcome everyone. And for those today, we're going to do Write With Me, live screenwriting from scratch, today's episode, and it's going to be episode 32. Look at that. That was not what I intended. And instead of trim outline, it's going to be, today's episode is going to be what? Let's see what we're going to call this. Yeah, working backwards. That's what we're going to call today's episode. We're going to call it working backwards. All right. So that's our episode for today. Let's get started. So we're looking at our to-dos. And the last to-do we had was continue synthesizing the outline back from the counterattack and infighting. So let's take a look at that outline and see where we're at. We're on outline 2. It's always the latest one. And we must have finished the third act and the end of the second act. Let's see. See how far we got. Yeah, it looks like we finished Dark Night of the Soul. And the Race to the Goal and the Face Off. So those are done. Dark Night of the Soul. That looks nice and tight. Gavin runs to Tammy Lynn's hotel. She's gone. Roger interviews Tammy Lynn. Everyone watches Tammy Lynn named Garvin. Garvin shoots his way out of the motel. Garvin discovers JR's legacy. Garvin calls Roger and tips him off. Cool. So we're in the second half of the second act in the first sequence of that. So this is where the midpoint is. Right after the midpoint. So Whitey gets out. That's perfect. She wants an introduction. Tammy, his girlfriend. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. This is great. Looking at it together, it's coming together. This is Joelle asks Garvin to pick up Whitey's car. Tammy bolts to Roger. Garvin discovers Whitey killed his dad. Joelle and Whitey realize Garvin knows. And then we just go to the Dark Night of the Soul. So perfect. Perfect. Great. So just opening up the Dark Night of the Soul after they realize Garvin knows. Garvin runs to Tammy Lynn's motel and she's gone. Perfect. Just weaving these scenes in together. So this is great. So let's start going through it and see what we got. Midpoint, counterattacking. Okay, so this is Whitey gets out of jail. All right, and then so this thing. It's not just as Joelle is telling him this. That goes earlier. So that is way up here when Joelle Yeah. Whitey squeals and yep. So it'll probably be here. Let's see. No, it'll be up here. Right up here. There you go. That belongs there. That's while in jail, just as Joel tells Whitey that Garvin is doing his job. When Joel tells Whitey Garvin is doing his job for him. So we'll go back here. Whitey's sentence is automatically cut short. The computerized provisional prison release system automatically cuts Whitey's sentence short. So let's write that. The computerized provisional prison release system automatically cuts Whitey's sentence short. The computer system selects him to free up a bed at the Glades Correctional Institution, otherwise known as the Muck. Whitey walks out of the prison gates. I think that's good. The computerized provisional prison system release system automatically cuts Whitey's sentence shortly. Whitey walks out of the prison gates. So that's better than the passive voice. But I kind of want to free up a bed. And then Whitey walks out of the prison gates. I like that. Okay. I don't think we should get Whitey coming out of the prison gates. I think we don't want to see that. Whitey gets notified that he's being set free. Cool. So Whitey gets notified that he's being set free. And then Jackson, given this is this you want me to feel a little comfortable. Well, now you notice you want to feel more comfortable. You should ask. Okay. So this belongs, this sort of racial tension moment belongs. Whitey squeals. Garvin catches Joel, and I keep Whitey in jail. That's the scene. Okay. So a lot of these scenes are doing 2 or 3 things. So that's why you see me coming up and trying to put it in the right one. So Whitey gets out of jail. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This might be. Let's see, what did I delete there? I was thinking. I don't think that I'm gonna do like Whitey getting out of prison, walking out. It is menacing. So this is 2 scenes. Okay. So Whitey gets out of jail. That's good. That's the scene. No, I'm gonna say Whitey gets early release. Okay, Whitey gets early release. And then let's see. Okay, this is great. So Tammy and Garvin have a blowout fight. No, it's more. Yeah, so Tammy and Garvin fight because he won't introduce her to Roger Gust. There we go. So we can take this and do that and open it up. So Tammy tells Garvin to call Roger Gust. Okay. Yeah, so this is the setup. And then okay. I like it. She's looking through his wallet. Just typical Tammy. So Tammy escalates. Let's move that out. There we go. So she escalates. She tries to get him to. Okay. They watch Panic Room together. Okay. So basically, I'm just arranging this scene a little bit. I probably shouldn't do too much of this, but it helps a little bit. Oh, let me start the timer. So we can not go over, right? Perfect. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Okay. So we have to move her telling him his real name up. Okay. So Tammy. All right. Okay. Okay. She can't. Okay. Yeah. So when he calls her by her real name, that's here. In the afterglow scene. Okay. 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 Let's go in. Okay, it turns into a fight. And then let's move the name. We're going to move the name up to the prior scene with them. This one. Cool. That's how it's going to come out. He's going to start calling her real name. And, yeah. So she gets in his face. Okay. Yeah, so we got to do that safe word thing. Yep. It only makes her more mad. Okay, so she uses a safe word, only makes her more mad. So after that, so I have to have a safe word. Okay, so they have to set up a safe word. Okay. Starts hitting him. So it only makes him more mad. Starts hitting him. Okay. So they just do it again. Does she kick him out, I wonder? Come out. Then she kicks him out. That's funny. Okay. So Joelle. Car. So that's going to happen at the junkyard. And at the junkyard. This. Yeah. I think this is Whitey wants to claim. Okay, and Whitey wants to claim his reward from Joel for doing the job, which Garvin actually just finished. So instead of having the scene of Whitey waiting outside prison, which doesn't make as much sense, we can just do that here. Up here in the first half of the second act. This one. Okay, so that's what Whitey wants in that scene. So when Garvin catches Joel in a lie. So let's go back to here. So right after he's Garvin way too far. Okay, so Joel asks Garvin to get Whitey's car. Come on. Ah, this folding thing. It unfolds everything. It's unfolding all the third act. It's messing up my tablecloth here. It's messing up my room. Alright. Back to it. So yes, Tammy and Garvin fight. And yep. So Whitey gets early release. Okay. And then that Whitey gets early release will probably be here. So yeah. Garvin discovers Whitey killed his dad. So that's gonna be Garvin discovers Whitey killed his father. Throw that there. We'll open this. Okay. This scene will probably be implied. Okay. So this is gonna be in Dark Night of the Soul. Roger interviews Tommy Lynn. So here, this scene does a lot. Look at all the things this scene does. So okay. Okay. All right. So that belongs there, where it goes. So Joe asks Garvin to kill Whitey's car. So this junkyard stuff goes here. Yep. And then we can move. Joel asks Garvin. Yeah, this Whitey gets early release. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . It's great. So Whitey gets early release. We integrate that into Joel. And because this doesn't need its own scene. Let's see. Whitey gets early release. That. Okay. Okay, this is all good. Okay. Because this is all after, so let's move this. Just moving stuff. Okay, sends people to go take him. Okay. So while recovering Whitey's car from the junkyard mechanics, this is good. Salvage yard. What he finds in the trunk, this is all good. Okay, this one. Garvin goes back to the safe house. Okay, so that is. Yep. Okay. Actually, let's put it here. Yep. Boom. No. This one. Okay. No, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Okay. So Garvin goes back to the safe house. Yes. Whitey shows up in a cab. So everyone watches Panic Room. I think I might be able to get rid of this scene if let me put this note. Might be able to get rid of the scene. Let's see. Might be able to get rid of the scene if we introduce a secondary character like cleaning lady at a motel. And then that cleaning lady turns out to be working for Joel. So she's the insurance policy, and Joel can just refer to her as the insurance policy. In the scene where they discover that Tammy Lynn spilled the beans. Okay. So this one. Okay. He runs and she's gone. Roger interviews her. Everyone watches it. Garvin shoots his way out. Yes. That goes here. Okay. And this goes here. So this is the arsenal. So let's see. Garvin discovers Like it's repetitive right now, but it's good. It'll work. So let's close that up. We're just moving stuff around. So what I'm seeing here, notice Joel and Whitey realize Garvin knows, right? All of this is basically plot BS, like plot business. Notice that the scene doesn't move the story forward, actually, right? There's no tags on it. Boom, I deleted. So now it goes straight from Whitey killed his father to Tammy Lynn's hotel room. Nice. And then okay. So I think that's all of it. So let's take a look. Tammy and Garvin fight because he won't introduce her to Roger Gust. Joel asks Garvin to get Whitey's car. Garvin discovers Whitey killed his father. And then that's it. Just 4 scenes. The infighting. We had 5 scenes, but we moved the tags of this one in here as explanation. And this one has 2 tags. This one has 2 tags. And then the Dark Night of the Soul is already the next sequence. So that's it. That's the sequence. Okay. We'll come back to it. Let's finish this pass. I mean, this is a great twist. Okay. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be the fun and games. Oh, no, this is complications. This is good. Complications. All right. Let's do complications. So complications is the second half of the first half of the second act. So Tammy Lynn runs off with Garvin. And I'll put that there. And then, okay. Go to a motel. She undresses, but when Garvin tries to get physical, she slaps him in the face. Okay. Tammy rejects Garvin. That actually becomes this. Another tag on this scene. Yep. Yeah, she finds it relaxing. Garvin is frustrated. Okay. Whitey asks to get out. So Whitey asks to get out. Keep Whitey in jail. I think yeah. So I'm gonna go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whitey sees Garvin doing well. Whitey sees Garvin doing well. And so he doesn't ask to get out here. He would ask here. So this is not even a scene. It's what I call a scenelet. Right? Okay. And then here he asks for early release as the result of that. Okay. Okay, so this one, I don't know how Tammy Lynn got in here, but put this in the bottom here. Okay. So okay, keep Whitey in jail. So how many tags we got here? This inside, we don't see Garvin doing well. That's fine. It's a scenelet. It's like one scene is so short. Okay. Okay, this scene speaks for itself. It's like the HR scene. It's really good. And then Garvin catches Joel in a lie. This is easy. We're going to get you out. What's the lie? Yes. This is working. The scene gets 2 tags now. See what these tags are, these little story tags, they tell you like what's the use of the scene in the story. And you want to have as many scenes with as many tags as possible. That tells you that the scene's actually doing work. And then anything that's not doing work is more like a scenelet. You want to keep those short. Right? But if you got a couple of tags, it's doing at least 2 things. So okay. Okay, we're gonna smooth this out later, but it's working. So given it's working, I'll just leave it. Oh, I gotta change the name of it. Okay. 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 Cool. Actually, this is the end of that scene. We could just, yes. So I'm gonna paste it here. Say Joelle finds Booby Boy's boss. Booby boss. So, oh, this seems to do a lot. It's nice when you see what the scene does, because if somebody tries to rewrite it, you can just check and make sure that your story beats are still being honored. You know, you're not missing something that will create a hole in your story. So Roger chips off. I think what we need here is a scene. Where is the killing of the Booby Boy's boss? Where's the yacht scene? Yeah, so the yacht scene, where is that? There's 3 of them. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, the gang boss. Okay. So that's that. So, and then we get the yacht scene. Garvin kills Booby Boss. Okay. Okay. Garvin gets promoted to hitman. Whitey squeals and is ignored. That's good. This tips off scene. I see Garvin sees this on TV while watching Panic Room and Tammy Lynn calls. Okay. Gives Garvin the M60. And then with lieutenants. How do you spell lieutenants? Vacuum. The wall isn't finished. Joel wants Garvin to let them kill each other. Maybe Garvin wants his revenge. Okay. And Whitey squeals and is ignored goes right up here. Yep. So go here. Whitey squeals something in the counselor and is ignored. And then this. Right. Okay, so he promotes Garvin to hitman. Damn. Okay. So we do this. Okay. Okay. Inadvertently. Okay. So we go here. Okay. So Garvin sees okay. Tamlin calls Garvin. Okay. This is two scenes. The twist is she calls him. Actually, this is where Tamlin calls Garvin. Yeah. We're doing a little dramatic compression. So Tamlin calls Garvin there. And then she can't go home. She wants him to come home and watch Panic. Okay. And then Garvin and Tammy. Watch panic button. Okay, good. So this is Garvin and Tammy hookup. Okay. And then here she provokes him. Okay. She beats up on Garvin until he jumps her. This goes up here. Okay, so we're gonna move. This is what starts the fight. Okay. Here. Yeah, that was it. That's the scene. They end up with a safe word. Something about healthy relationships. All healthy relationships have one. Okay. Maybe she calls him here when he's putting away the boat. And then oh, this is soft. Let's see. So Roger asks Garvin for an interview. Garvin denies. So okay, so this is a little bit of conflict here. Go here. So Roger meets Garvin. And Garvin denies Roger the interview. So we're going to come back to this scene in the future. But this is the scene. So all this stuff. So yep. Roger meets Garvin. This is the scene I'm not happy with. Joel promotes Garvin to hitman. I can just take this. Okay, it's the complications. Tammy Lynn runs off with Garvin. Inside prison, Whitey sees Garvin doing well. Whitey asks to get out. Joel keeps him in jail. Yahtzee and Garvin kills the booby boys. The booby boss. Whitey squeals to the prison counselor and is ignored. Joel promotes Garvin to hitman. Garvin and Tammy hook up. Roger meets Garvin at the booby boys hangout. So this is the stuff's already beginning to get complicated. Perfect. So our next to do is the fun and games, which is so much fun in the movies. Fun and games is always good. Let's go to it. So continue synthesizing. I keep I'm back from infighting. And we'll cross that one out. And then back from fun and games. Cool. So we're almost to the first act, working our way backwards from the end of the movie. trying to create our trying to see how everything is. There's most of it's actually pretty tight. I'm actually pretty happy with it. So I think Fun and Games will tighten it up. But I'm probably going to revisit Complications again, as I will all of them once they're a little bit consolidated. So Tamerlane runs off with Garvin. Inside prison, Whitey sees Garvin doing well. Whitey has to get out. And Joel just keeps him in jail. Yacht scene kills the Booby Boys. Whitey squeals. Joel promotes Garvin to Hitman. So this needs to be... Boom. There we go. There you go. So we're taking the tags off the names here. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're in good shape. We've got the complications done. And we got the... I think the infighting done today, right? Yeah. We also deleted some scenes. Always good to delete scenes if you can. Alright, guys. Coming together. So it's coming together. Complications are done. The counterattack and the infighting is done. Dark Night of the Soul is done. So now we're going into the second half of the first half of the second act, the Fun and Games. It's 3 more sequences to go. And we've got our film outlined scene by scene. Basically every scene in the movie, once we have this set up, we'll be ready for it. Then we got to go through, just give you a sense of what's coming next, is we're going to go through each sequence and just analyze it using the same story tools. Does it have a nice twist? Does it have a nice set piece at the end to keep the story moving? And that's it. Once they do, then we're off to the individual scenes and we'll apply the same strategy starting from the back, seeing what we can enhance and work on our setups and payoffs. And then after that, just like once all that's done, we can start throwing in all the 15 beats. Make sure all the 15 beats are accounted for. And when all the 15 beats are accounted for and the scenes are nice and tight, at that point, I think we're ready to transition into fountain format. And once the fountain format is done, the dialogue comes in, certain descriptions come in. But we're at a first draft, basically, at that end. We just export it and it's done. So that's going to be exciting. Maybe I'll do an episode of me figuring out how to get fountain working on Obsidian. Actually, let me see. Let me see if fountain... see, community plugins, browse. They have to have it. Fountain editor. There it is. Fountain. Yeah. Write and view screenplays in fountain format with index cards and lots of other features. Highlighting in the editor. Oh, so this is fountain syntax. It's modular and write and review screenplay. Perfect. Okay, we'll do a little research on that next scene, next time we get together and write. Once we get to that point. Once we're ready to make the change. Alright, guys. But for now, if you've stayed with me this far, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you watching. And I will see you on the next one. Until then, guys, have a nice day. And thanks. Alright. That's it for today's stream. So if you want to apply the tools I use here to your own work, I put together something special for you. Right next to me on the screen, you'll see a QR code for my screenwriting masterclass. As someone who fixes stories for a living, I can't afford writer's block, and neither should you. So I took the exact tools working writers use to make bulletproof narratives and packed them into this premium video course. It doesn't matter if you're writing screenplays, novels, comics, TV, or games. This works for any narrative story. You'll get full scene-by-scene breakdowns of famous films, hands-on guidance, and the exact system to ensure you never stare at a blank page again. It's $47, and a portion of every sale goes directly to support emerging artists through the Arts Accelerator nonprofit. If you're serious about mastering the craft, pull out your phone, scan the QR code right here, or hit the link in the description below. Get it now, and I'll see you on the next stream.
Sun is